Hey, mighty men of God, Joe Martin here with Real Men Connect, where we help good men become great men God's way. I provided them with real answers to real problems in the real world. On our Real Men Ride Along, and I'm on my way to go work out and exercise, get the blood flowing and the juices flowing. But I wanted to ask you a question. Has your love life gone cold? Has your love life gone cold? Now, before you think you know what I'm getting ready to talk about, I'm talking about your love life and your love relationship with Christ. Has your love life and your love with God, has it grown cold? Now, I'm going to make this short and simple, but this was something I didn't know that a relationship could grow cold with God. I thought once you gave your life to Christ and you were pursuing Him and you seeking Him, that it will continue to grow naturally. But I found out, like any other relationship, that you have to cultivate that relationship. And if you don't be intentional about building a relationship with Christ, that the relationship can grow cold. Now, I got to tell you, I actually learned this lesson years ago when my son was in daycare. Now, let me explain. My son was about 3 years old, and he was at daycare, and I drop him off, and I pick him up. Now, you have to understand, when I was dropping my son off, he didn't like the fact that we would drop him off at daycare, because he missed his dad, he missed his mom. But that wasn't a big deal. We got him over that after a while. But he used to do something strange every time we picked him up from daycare. And the thing that he did that was strange is that whenever we'd show up, especially when I would show up, I don't know if he did it with his mom, but he did it with me all the time. It's as if he's never seen me before. I'm talking about, like, I've been gone for years, and when he sees his daddy, 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 and he is screaming and yelling at the top of his lungs, he's running to me, and he just grabs me by my legs and just squeezes me. And to the outside looking in, that was kind of cute. But to me personally, it kind of bothered me, because the way he treated me, the way he ran after me, you would think he'd never seen me before, or that I don't even live with him. So I started getting self-conscious. Now, don't judge me, but I used to get self-conscious thinking, what kind of message is this sending to the people, to the other parents, to the teachers in the daycare? Does his dad not live with him, or does he only see his dad on the weekends or something? Now, I was crazy and I was young. I didn't know any better. So, of course, I decided to question this 3-year-old when I put him in the car one day. I put him in his car seat and we're driving. And I said, Kendall, can I ask you something? He said, yeah, Daddy. I said, why do you act like that every time I come pick you up from daycare? And of course, he's being 3 years old. He doesn't understand what I'm really saying. He said, huh? I said, Kendall, when I come to see you and I, pick you up from daycare, you just run and you scream and you yell and you just grab me and you hold me and you hug me hard and everything as if you've never seen me. You just saw me earlier this morning. Why do you do that every time I pick you up? And now, of course, in his 3-year-old, not knowing any better, he says from his honest, pure heart, he said, Daddy, because I love you, Daddy, and I miss you. I said, wow. I said, okay, Kendall, I love you and I miss you too, son. And God, please excuse me, I was young. So I told him, I said, Kendall, I get that, and I understand Daddy loves you too, but could you do Daddy a favor? I said, you don't have to act like that every time you see me. It's okay. I love you too, but you don't have to scream and yell and run at me like that and attack me whenever I come to pick you up. Now, that's what I said. And don't you know, and he says, okay, Daddy. And as quickly as I said that, and soon as I would say probably no more than 2 or 3 minutes later, the Holy Spirit spoke to my heart. You know what the Holy Spirit spoke to my heart? He says, don't you dare do that to your son. And first of all, there was the one in the car with me, and I heard his voice. He said, don't you dare do that to your son. And of course, my response was like, do what? He said, don't you dare stop him from running after you that way. Don't you dare stop him from loving you and showing his affection for you that way. And see, the truth of the matter was, the Holy Spirit was revealing to my heart, Joe, there was a time when you gave your life to me, the Father, that when you used to get up in the morning, you would run after me that way. Daddy, Daddy, I love you. Daddy, Daddy, I miss you. I was always on your mind. You were in love with me, Joe. You wanted to see me. You wanted to be with me. You wanted to spend time with me. But Joe, you don't do that anymore. You don't run after me with your arms open wide, telling me how much you love me and that you miss me. He said, so don't you dare do that to your son, because I miss you doing that to me. And one day when your son gets older and the love gets a little bit colder, he may stop doing that to you. And you're going to miss it as much as I miss it. Wow. Talking about conviction. And from that day forward, I stopped telling my son that he couldn't do that anymore. Because the Holy Spirit was right. As my son got older, he didn't do that anymore. And boy, how I miss those days when that smile was from ear to ear and his eyes were big and he ran after me saying, Daddy, Daddy, I love you. Now, does he still love me? Of course he does. But boy, that was a different type of love. So guys, I'm challenging you to look at your love relationship with God, with Christ. Has it grown cold? Has it grown old? Have you gotten complacent and casual with it? Or do you run after him like a 3-year-old with your arms wide open? Daddy, 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 I love you and I miss you. Guys, I challenge myself each and every week and each and every month to love God that way. And I got to tell you, it's not easy. But now that I'm aware of it, I've tried to build on that relationship so that relationship with God never grows cold. Guys, remember, we're males by birth, but we are men by choice. So choose to be the man that God called and created you to be. In love with him eternally. And having to love him that never grows old, that never grows cold. Because a male is a terrible, terrible thing to waste. Guys, till next time, be strong, stay blessed, and as always, stay in God's grip.